Hi guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match preview for tomorrow's game against SHAMROCK Rovers in Tallaght Stadium. Quick turnaround after Friday night's win. No, it wasn't a good performance, but we got the 3 points, another home victory. So that was good. But in terms of our performance levels, I think we will need to see something a lot better here if we want to get a result. Against the SHAMROCK Rovers side, who are, have picked up a good bit of form now over the last few weeks. We're clicking into gear. Climbing up the table after a slow enough start. I think they gone the first 3 games without having a win, and the last few games they picked up some points and are looking like a team that can really challenge for the title. And look, for us anyway, I think it's just about improving on that performance on Friday. And yeah, just going that extra mile, being a little bit less one-dimensional, trying to not be as passive, trying to get in their faces a bit more and show that, that bit of grit that we all know that we need to win, to win a Dublin Derby. But yeah, look, I think the thing that changed the game for us on Friday really was the substitutions. Look at who came on: Rooney, McManus, Clark. They definitely helped swing the game in our favour. I think I'd like to see at least some of those players start here. There is a quick turnaround, so you do think maybe there'll be a few changes. I think I'd like to see McManus start. I thought he done really well when he came on. That was very harsh to drop him for Friday. Because I think in the games prior he'd done well. Great to see him get the goal. I think he needs to start here. I think Rooney might come back in, even though Parsons was okay. I think Rooney, he could come in for just based on how he played when he came off the bench. Could see Clark as well, but I think at the back as well, I think we need to see a couple of changes maybe. I'm just not convinced at the moment by Cavanagh and Gretton as a pair. And there were a couple of times there on Friday where they were quite poor in the air, quite weak, and maybe a more experienced head at the back there, and someone like Rob Cornwall or Lacey if he's fit. Just for a game like this, so I think I'd bring Cornwall in for one of Cavanagh or Gretton. It could be even CK and Best. I don't know. Look, it is a Dublin Derby. Maybe Reynolds might want to, or he might want to throw him in the deep end, and I think we might see Flores carry on there at left back. But other than that, I don't really anticipate any changes. No, I think it's for this game, it's just about trying to go that extra mile in terms of our aggression and our work ethic and our fight. Because you do need all those things to win a Dublin Derby, of course. It's the biggest game of the season. It's one that you look forward to when the fixtures come out. You look to when the first derby is, and obviously not the first derby of the season. Ended very well for us in a 1-0 win, but I think this game's going to be a lot different to that. I think we're going to be coming up against a much more, fresher Rovers side with, a lot more quality to them, because, they were missing a good few players that day, and they'd only played in Europe a few days prior. So I think they'll be a lot more fired up for this one. And yeah, look, I can see it being quite a rough afternoon for us if we play anything like we did against Cork. So yeah, look, in terms of prediction, I think I might go with a Rovers win. Just based off the fact that our record out in Tallaght is so poor. Just the results that we've had out there, it's been plenty of times over the last few years that we've gone out there and just been completely, fightless and just not shown the aggression that's needed to pick up points in those games. So hopefully that's not the case here. Hopefully we're a lot more aggressive, and we get the win, and a rare win of course out in Tallaght, because we haven't won out there I think in 5 or 6 seasons, which is very poor considering that we actually had a very good record out there. If you think back to the early days under Keith Long, where we picked up a couple of famous victories out there, and we want to get back to that those sort of levels. So hopefully we can do that here. Am I confident people that we will do it? No, to be honest. Like I said, I think Rovers will win this. Might go with a 2-0 win. And look, fingers crossed I'm wrong. But look, we need to see a much more aggressive in their faces performance. We were awfully passive on Friday, very one-dimensional. And look, if we're like that again here, we'll get punished. But hopefully it's not like that. And the players do turn up and put in a bit of a fight, and we do get that rare win out in Tallaght, and that sets us on then for the next few games where, we have a few difficult games. After this it's Pats and Daily Mount where we're coming up against another good side, another derby. I think after that then we've a few games against teams who are below us in the table. So if you did manage to pick up some points here in these next couple of games, it would be massive in terms of building some confidence and getting us ready then for the run in then throughout the summer. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you're thinking ahead of the game, your score predictions, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.